Hello everyone, it's Johto Johnny here, back with some more great news for Pokemon Legends Z to A. I also have a few more findings that I want to share with you that will blow your mind. It's all very exciting, so be sure to stay till the end so you don't miss anything. Also, assuming I get this video out on time, it's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. I hope you all celebrate too today just for fun, cause why not? Before we get to the big news, let's talk about some more big finds in the analysis that I've fished out for you. You'll get that pun in a second. Now, in the scene with Dragonair, we were all really distracted by Dragonair herself flying and swimming around, the trainer trying to catch her, and this huge Gyarados swimming about in this relatively tight body of water. That we didn't even notice another Pokemon doing something very special right there in front of us. If you look in the water, you'll notice a bunch of yellow stars on the bottom and even on the wall later on. These are clearly Staryu. Yeah, I was watching the trailer for like the gajillionth time and saw these little guys and I had a cheeky revelation. You'll notice that they're all underwater and they're not budging. This is actually huge because this gives us some major insight into some more gameplay elements we'll be seeing in Legends Z to A. We cannot catch Pokemon underwater like this, so how in the world will we catch Staryu? We all know from Legends Arceus that Pokeballs can't be thrown underwater to catch wild Pokemon, and even in this shot here, the trainer is only trying to catch Dragonair when she flies out of the water, meaning even the trainer knows their balls won't work if they try to throw it through the water. So you might be asking, how will we catch the Staryu? Well, there are 4 possibilities. My pun earlier explains 2. So our first option is that we literally fish the Pokemon out in Legends Z to A with a fishing rod, a fishing minigame, yeah, the whole shebang. Secondly, and this is the most likely scenario, is that we have an item similar to the Scatterbang that we release in the water to make the Pokemon move around to the surface. Conversely, our third option is that we get a ball that we can just throw through the water, probably called something like, I don't know, the dive ball. These last 2 I just mentioned would be the lamest options in my opinion, but unfortunately they're the most likely because items that help us catch Pokemon by positioning them or ourselves was a core mechanic in Legends Arceus, and also having different balls that do different things was another core mechanic. And yeah, compared to those 2, the fishing rod would be the preferred option. And we all know how much Japanese devs love fishing minigames. But what has me most excited is the 4th option, that we'd be able to dive underwater to catch these Staryu and who knows what other Pokemon. It would be a great way for Game Freak to, test the waters. God, my puns are on fire today. For future Legends games to come like Johto or Hoenn. Since, you know, Lumio City will have fairly shallow and small bodies of water for us to swim around, and you just know that if we get Johto or Hoenn Legends games, we're gonna have to learn how to swim, cause how else are we gonna deal with Lugia and the frickin' Whirl Islands, or I don't know, half the map of Hoenn? If they leave out the stepping stone, I'd think Game Freak to be preposterously daft. And we don't want that now, do we? Alright, now for the news. I have 2 bits of news to cover. Let's start with the smaller one. Pokemon Legends Z to A has been confirmed by Nintendo to be an action RPG, solidifying the return of action elements we saw in Legends Arceus, such as dodging and even fighting Pokemon in real time with items as our trainer. Now, there could be complete overhauls to what our action commands in Z to A are. After all, it's hard to imagine dodge rolling from a Pokemon or fighting with the spoiled Apricorn once the city is built up. So, what other elements of action could we see? Time will tell, and we can only speculate, so if you have any fun ideas, comment them down below. Now, let's get to the big news. If you've been on my channel before, then you're probably familiar with Kayla's capsule. She's been featured here many times for our vodcast series, and I've also been known to cite her research in many of my videos since, well, let's be honest, she's usually right when it comes to Pokemon lore and story speculation. The woman knows her stuff, and last week was no different. Kayla revealed to the world that there are many signs in the trailer pointing to what time period Legends Z to A takes place in. Obviously, her video goes in great detail, but for the sake of this video, I'll summarize it for you, and then you can go watch hers later. Kayla pointed out, the text for the redevelopment plan is written using a printing press, which was created and used heavily in the mid to late 1800s. The architecture in the redevelopment sketchbook is basically one-to-one with Haussmann architecture, iconic architecture that was popularized in Paris during the, you guessed it, late 1800s. This real-life houseman development plan that took place during the late 1800s was actually also used as a means to make the poor and the rich live together with less angst. Whether or not that actually worked or was ethical is up for debate, but it's pretty similar to Lumio City's redevelopment plan that aims to allow Pokemon and humans to live in harmony, further solidifying Z to A within this time period. Additionally, Pikachu being featured in the sketchbook in front of the architecture actually goes beyond him being Pokemon's mascot. Apparently, the Houseman redevelopment project was the first in Paris to pioneer electric-powered lights throughout the streets, which we see behind Pikachu in the shot. It really does seem like all the signs are pointing towards Z to A taking place in the late 1800s. That means Legends Arceus had only just concluded its story before this one begins. Not only that, but Kalos was also already far more developed than Hisui during this time. After all, Hisui, which would later come to be known as Sinnoh, was colonized by travelers from developed nations like Kanto, Galar, Alola, and yeah, Kalos. And we saw it happen in real time during Legends Arceus. So not only do we now know the time period Legends Z to A will take place in, but we also know a bit more about the main character we'll be playing and the organization we'll be seeing throughout the game. Several times in the trailer, we see the Quazar logo, and they seem to be the company behind the redevelopment project, similarly to how Legends Arceus had us working for Team Galactic. It looks like this time we'll be members of Quazar, helping construct Lumio City firsthand. Whether we're called to the past to do this like in the previous Legends game is currently unknown, but it's a cool prospect regardless. I do think we'll see two factions of Quasar arise as we reconstruct Lumios. One that has the ideology of Yveltal and wants the Pokemon to be confined to designated, open areas of the map while humans inhabit the rest, and one that has the ideals of Xerneas that wants humans and Pokemon to share all the space. This would be similar to the real-life project, and I think would reflect well in a Pokemon story. Meanwhile, the turmoil between the two endangers the Pokemon, so Zygarde eventually lashes out. Yeah, something like that sounds like the story we'll be getting so far, but there's no way to know for sure, and we can't really glean any more past that currently. So if you think the story's gonna go differently, yeah, let me know. But what do you guys think about all these discoveries? What has you the most excited? What do you disagree with? Is there anything we missed? Let me know down in the comments, and afterwards catch up with more of my videos tackling Pokemon, such as my big analysis on the reveal trailer for Z to A. The link is right in front of you. I'll catch you all there.